All right, we are live. Welcome to our Tuesday edition of our Q&A. Every Tuesday we go live here on our YouTube channel. Welcome, and my name is Jessie. I'm with Decker Truckline, and I'm a recruiter here at Decker, and it's your chance to ask the question. So if you have any questions, go ahead and leave it in the chat, and we will answer them as soon as possible. Anna will be here as well just to support us, to keep us on track, make sure that we are providing you with all of the information that you're looking for. So, hey Adam, Inside the Triangle, that's awesome. Yes, I'm pretty jacked about it too. So we don't have an exact date yet that we're releasing it. We'll get more and more information out to you guys here soon. Now here's the thing. Here at Decker, we're trying to make sure that all of our communication to you is easily accessible, because I know that not everybody is on the same platform or, goes to the same social media or whatever. Some people don't like email, some people rather be text or get a phone call or just read the information at their own convenience, whether it be on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, or just want to hear it. So we're providing you the podcast, which I'm pretty jacked about, because that's going to open up some more modes of communication for you. It'll give you a chance to ask the questions and have them answered by the professionals as well. So it'll be fun. Very cool. So what this is our Q&A that we offer you the opportunity to ask your questions, give your input. Maybe you don't have a question, but you have an answer for somebody else, or maybe a tip or whatever for somebody. We appreciate it. This is basically an open forum for you to offer your help to somebody who might need it in another aspect. So, if you're the professional and you've been doing it for a while and have some advice, we would appreciate that. Hey, Bob. Bob is here. Amy. Hello, anyone here? We're here. Adam out of Las Vegas. All right. Hopefully some sunshine there. Anna says, if you have any questions about your specific area, where you live, what's available out of your area, drop your zip code into the comments, and then we can answer it. So between her and I, there you go. We will answer those questions for you. We'll tell you what division's available out of your area, what the running lanes are, how often you'll get home, and all of that. So now I'm getting all kinds of errors, not receiving, and everything was perfect just a minute ago. So if you guys are having any delays, I apologize. I'm not sure what the holdup is, but it says YouTube is not getting a smooth stream, so it might be a little hiccupy. So, Amy, yes. Amy is asking if the Tyson in Waterloo is open. Yes, it is. We had some thumbs up all the way around with some of our customers that had recently had to kind of hold off for a little bit because of the COVID. And it's nice to see that those doors are all opening as well to keep got to keep the supply chain moving. People need their food and other things. I guess not everything's food out there, but we do haul a lot of perishables. So yes, positive news on that front. Love to hear that. Bob 51537. You are, however. Bob, you're killing me. Super leggy. Yeah, I can see it on my end. It looks pretty good, but as I'm watching the play here, it looks a little bit, not a little bit, it totally looks bumpy, and I'm really not sure why. I have too many things open. Rocky Mountain Trucker, live in Billings, Montana. Woohoo, Montana. I've been told nothing is open until things open up from the virus. Do you have any idea when that'll be? So, true and not true. So we've got positions available. In Billings, not so much, but in Montana, yes. The holdup there is that you have to leave the tractor and trailer in Missoula on your home time until things open up a little bit more. But leaving your tractor and trailer in Missoula on your home time would be an option. Well, as far as we're concerned, be an option. It may or may not be an option as far as you're concerned. If you're saying, yeah, right, nice try, that's still too far for me, that I completely understand. But as far as we're concerned, that we can work with that as long as you leave the tractor and trailer in Missoula on your home time at the terminal there. But that makes sense. Amy said, okay, thank you. Stephen asked, and we're in Missoula. All right, making the move. Very exciting. But yes, that's, where did I see that? Rocky Mountain Trucker. So I love the name, by the way. Yes, we do have some opportunities, but the hitch is that you have to bring your tractor and trailer into Missoula on your home time. And that's going to go for pretty much all of Montana right now. If I know yesterday we had somebody on from, was it Webo or Sydney? I know we had someone from Webo I was talking to last night, as well as Sydney. Anna says, Bob, you can do anything. Bob replies, Jesse won't let me. True. Everybody else, you can give a call to 888-668-0698 for more information as well. Because we do have some recruiters available to answer other questions too, if you want to be even more specific. Anybody that's out east in Montana, though, you have to leave the tractor and trailer in Missoula on your home time. We are hiring out of the Missoula area, so within like a 50-mile radius, we are offering home every 7 to 10 days. So not necessarily weekly. It could fall weekly, but not guaranteed all the time, because you're running out to the Midwest and you're coming back, and depending on what load you're coming back on, it could throw that weekly home time off. But it is more often than the 2 to 3 weeks out that we offer in most cases at a time. So 2 to 3 weeks out at a time, and then home for 2 to 3 days. So if you're coming in at every 7 to 10 days out of the Missoula area, figure that your obviously your miles won't be as heavy as they are when you're out 2 to 3 weeks at a time, because you're cutting more loads short in order to get the more of that home time, which you probably understand, but doesn't hurt to remind you as well when you come aboard that could happen. The pay is going to be based off of experience. So it'll start anywhere from like 43 cents a mile to 43 cents a mile to 48 cents a mile in that over-the-road refrigerated based out of Missoula. And 10 cents of that's per diem, so you're not taxed on it. You get a penny raise after 90 days, and then every year on the anniversary. We are still really laggy, aren't we? Dang, I'm not sure why. Risky Red, hey Howard, good to see ya. Did you know that well, I'm sure Katie told you. Katie had submitted your pictures a couple weeks ago to the Smart Drive Challenge. You guys are familiar with the Smart Drive Challenge, right? I know I've showed it off a couple of times. But the Smart Drive, first of all, Smart Drive is who we partner with for our safety, inward and outward facing event controllers. Well, it's our safety system, but they do a lot of the recording and video features. So we are partnering with them because they have kind of put out a Facebook challenge for all professional drivers out there and their families to submit any, any family pictures. It depends on the week. Let me pull that up. And then I actually know what I'm talking about. But you'll get a chance to win $100. Well, the other day, I think it was a week and a half ago, Howard had submitted a picture of that he had taken at his house. They had created a Decker trucks. They colored them in, and that was actually one of the submission requests. It was either a chalk or drawing or some sort, some creative angle, I guess, on your truck. And it was pretty cool to see that he had already implemented it. So we submitted that on behalf of him. And this week we submitted our picture of all of those who had sent me pictures of their loved ones, those who they were married to. Or are married to. Not were, are. Here, let me get a picture of that for you guys. See if I can open this up. All right, sound effects. All right, so this isn't Howard's picture necessarily, although his picture is on here. This one is the picture that we submitted for the Trucker Challenge this last week. It was, how was that worded? Here we go. The Trucker Challenge was for taking a picture of your family or your loved one. So yeah, our video-based safety partner. There you go. So that is that. So that that's the one that we submitted. You guys can't even see it because it's all frozen. Dang nabbit rabbit. Darn screen. Okay. Let's see. It's working on my end, so I'm not sure why it's not working on your guys' end. Usually if it stops working on my end, well, usually it stops working on your end because I see it not working on my end. That makes sense? Imagine it did. Pretend it did. Alright, let's see. You said, what did I see here? Yes, it's an opportunity for family, friends, and coworkers to show their support, which is awesome because this week, beginning on Wednesday, is Transportation Awareness Week. National Transportation Week is what it is. There, you did get to see the picture. Excellent. It's just a little slow. This week, 11th through the 17th, for the Smart Drive system, or the Smart Drive Challenge, is Share Your Trucker's Pet. Ooh, I got a good one for that. You want to see it? I should have sent the picture, the Clifford the Red Dog, which I realize is not the real pet, but it was pretty darn cute, that I saw yesterday. But here, oh, that's Gerald's picture, but following it, you'll see Tulip. Tulip is Colleen's puppy dog. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, I love it. How adorable is that? I think that's pretty cute. So this week is the Trucker's Pet. So Tulip needs to be submitted on that. Already sent her the details to get Tulip in there. If any of you guys have a dog pet that you'd like to show off during that, make sure that you submit it. And again, in order to submit the images, let's see if I can get that link to you guys. Anna, did you already post the link? Did I miss it? The Heroes in Transportation. So you've got a chance for $100 Visa, or I don't know if it's a $100 Visa gift, but it's a $100 gift card. That's what it is. Let me see if I can get you that link because you'll need it in order to post it. This is just something fun. You guys don't have to do this by any means, but this is just something fun. You might as well, if you've got the picture, you've got a good looking dog that you want to share. Maybe not share the dog, but share the picture of the dog. Then you can. Here's the link to submit. Link for Smart Drive. Oops. Can't spell. Drive Heroes in Transportation. There you go. Have fun, share it. Fun, fun, fun. There you go. So that is the link. So next week, May 18th through the 24th, is Say Thank You to Your Favorite Driver, which gives you yet another opportunity to show off your favorite driver and their supporting them. There you go. You can also send pictures. We'll share them if you don't want to put them in that challenge for a chance to win $100, or if you do. Either way, double it up. Send a picture to us over on Facebook.com/DTL Inc. and we'll show off your pet too. We kind of like to do that. That's fun. You guys can like to see them, I'm sure of it. Because when I get an influx of them, I love it. I think it's awesome. And then the last week of May, the 25th through the 31st, is share your favorite photo of your trucker and his or her truck. So we've got some great ones there. Howard, you did see your picture. Awesome. Well, that must have been on the Marry a Trucker. In it for the long haul. Excellent. Yes, so that's... Now we are going to be talking about the Transportation Week today. We are going to hit on that just a little bit. I know it doesn't start officially until Wednesday, so tomorrow, and it'll go till through next Tuesday. But we'll talk a little bit about that today too, and just as a reminder of what Transportation Week is Basically, it started back in 1962. Obviously, we recognized it since the 50s, but it started back in 62 as a national holiday when Franklin D. Roosevelt signed off that we are going to continue to build our infrastructures, to build, to operate, and to maintain these infrastructures, and continue to do so in order to provide goods across country. Well, we know how important that is, that over 70% of all goods are transported by truck alone. And really, transportation is key in all aspects of our lives anymore. You think of how you get raw materials in order to create whatever someone else is creating anywhere here within the U.S., not even just within the U.S., because you've got other modes of transportation besides just road, which would be, your car, your trucks, your buses, your bikes, walking. But you also have air and water. So you've got your water, which would be your inward and your ocean modes of transportation. You've got your air, so obviously airplanes and whatnot. Drones are thrown in there now. I'm going to put those into the air. And we've got pipeline, and what am I missing? Railway. We've got railway as well. And a lot of times, obviously, the railway and the air and water and all of those work hand in hand with our roadways as well, as our trucks are going into port sometimes, not necessarily always ours, but trucks in general go into ports, get those supplies, bring them to ports, and continuing on. So anyways, the importance of transportation is what I'm getting at, and it's nice to be recognized. And right now, this is kind of, in my mind, this is just eye-opening to a lot of people, more civilians, those who don't really think about the logistics of their everyday items. But one of the key things in my mind was thinking about getting, in the last 2 months, was thinking how we are getting our cleaning supplies. Who would have put extra thought on getting their Lysol wipes or Clorox wipes or whatever brand name you use, but getting hand sanitizers and masks and things that we haven't for quite some time thought it would be difficult to get our hands on, was very difficult here this last month and a half, because the need was so bad. They didn't have the resources. The people that were making them, the manufacturers, they didn't have the resources to get it. We had to make our own hand sanitizer because we knew that our drivers needed to be safe. We felt it was our responsibility to provide them those supplies and to keep them safe, and at least to do our very best. Otherwise, they're not keeping the supply chains going, and we all know how detrimental that is, because clearly this in general, but then you think about the food and everything as well. All of the basics. Now I'm getting all worked up, but you think about all of those. It was so hard for us to get our hands on, it's still hard to get our hands on too many of these, but we ordered masks. We tried making masks. We tried to even get some of the supplies in order to make them. Some of those basic were, some of those were hard to get. I was using ponytail holders and staples and paper towels that I'd had in storage, because we just keep extra just to make sure that we could get some masks here locally. But we had a lot of our drivers, Stephen is a great example, a lot of our drivers who just kind of took what they had in their truck to create the masks. When we have places that are requiring that you're using masks, that you have all of the COVID or coronavirus required guide, or you're following all the corona guidelines, but yet you are having a hard time getting those supplies. Last week we saw that FMCSA worked hand in hand with multiple DOT offices. Nebraska was a big one, to hand out, what was it, to hand out 1 million or 500,000? I know it was a lot of masks. For the life of me, I can't think of how many it was to begin with, but to hand out hundreds of thousands of masks to our professional drivers out there. There are a lot of you out there. 3 million drivers is a rough estimate of the drivers here in the United States. and we needed to get into your hands those masks to keep you safe. It was nice to see not only Decker put in that effort and get those supplies and get them to you, whether it be hand sanitizers or whatnot. And by the way, if you guys still need them, make sure you talk to your driver manager. If you get into one of the terminals or the shops, go get yours so that you have them handy, because obviously you need them. But going back to that, it's nice to see others besides, right here in house, obviously we're working our tails to get you those, but we also see all those other people and trying to get you meals. We had several people reach out to us. If you're in a particular area, let us know so that we can help. We can bring a meal to one of your drivers. We know it's difficult right now because things were shut down. When things first got shut down and everyone kind of went into panic mode, there were drivers out there who, couldn't use bathrooms and couldn't grab anything to eat because they flat out were turning people away in some of the truck stops, but definitely rest areas and whatnot. You got to be able to, our professional drivers have got to be able to use those resources if you expect anything in return. Like your supplies. So it's nice to see some of those opening up and others just stepping up to really to show their kindness and appreciation. And I think that the National Transportation Week falling within this pandemic time period is perfect timing just to create more and more awareness. And I've seen, we've seen all types of, industries and people in different positions, whether it be nurses or when we've got a lot of our professional drivers, their significant others are nurses, and and what they've been through to help all of these individuals who are suffering from not even only just COVID. It could be allergies, could be anything right now that they're going through. Cancer. We have some of our loved ones. Wade Bland has reached out and asked for extra prayer for his mom, or his wife, that's going through cancer, and so we all are banding together and creating awareness about everybody that all the things that we're going through. So Nexus says, I have a CDL and I have 3 months experience. Can I still join Decker? Not yet. We do require 9 months of tractor trailer experience. So Nexus, that's a great question. I'd like to give you a little bit more information on that. So keep us in mind, most definitely. As of right now, we do require 9 months of tractor trailer experience, which means it doesn't necessarily have to be flatbed or refrigerated or even van. As long as it's tractor trailer and you've got experience with ELDs, the Qualcomm unit, things like that, then it's going to be a much easier transition for you. But the 9 months is a requirement, so you've got to have that minimum requirement for any of our positions, whether it be refrigerated, van, or flatbed. Now, if you are going into the flatbed division and your 9 months of experience are in refrigerated, no worries. In that case, we will train you for the securement and tarp training. So the securement and tarping, no problem there. Plus, we do have videos on this YouTube channel. So if you aren't already subscribed, make sure you click that little bell, subscribe and click the bell so that you'll be notified every time that we do go live, or every time that I upload a video, so that you will have more tips and trainings and all of that good stuff. So we'll have a refrigerated one coming out here soon, more of a pre-trip for the refrigerated, but we've done pre-trip for the flatbed, truck pre-trips, we've done tarping and securement training. So all of those are available on our YouTube channel so that you'll be able to use it, but the 9 months experience is required. Also, for requirements, as of right now, you do need to have, besides the 9 months experience, no major moving violations within the last 3 years, no DOT recordable accidents within the last 3 years. Obviously, those are all preventable. If it's a preventable DOT recordable, it can't be within the last 3 years. Now, incidents, we can work with minimal incidents. So if you have like a backing incident or two in the last 3 years, we can work with that. We just aren't looking for, we're not looking for anything beyond that. We want to keep your CSA points down. We want to keep our CSA points down. And that's why we don't work with a lot of major moving violations. One way, insurance doesn't like it for one, and it obviously would affect our scores as well. We want to keep our scores low. The better our scores are for the CSA points, which is really a reflection of your PSP report, the better, the better it is to keep customers as well. So they like to see those clean CSAs and everything. So hopefully that answers some questions. That was probably a little more in depth than you were looking for, Nexus, but that is the basic requirements. We do work with 21 years and older with someone with a CDL, like I said, 9 months experience. Now, if you have experience driving tractor trailer, military experience, or farm experience, but you don't have over-the-road experience, then still talk to one of our recruiters and we'll see if we can help you out. Now, not necessarily, because every situation is a little bit different, but if you call the number 888-668-0698 and talk to one of the recruiters, we can see about helping you out. Okay. But yes, we do train for the ELDs, for the electronic logs. We'll train with managing your time and giving you more information on the running lanes. We'll train with the securement and the tarping. And I think I already said the refrigerated unit and all of that. Yep. So I hit on just briefly some of the Montana area, I guess, for the hiring areas, but we do have additional hiring area as well. So as of today, which is the 12th of May, as of today, we are hiring, we do have a couple positions out of Las Vegas. So I think I saw Las Vegas earlier. Was that, oh, that was Adam. Okay. So yes, out of Las Vegas, where you'd be out about 2 to 3 weeks at a time. It's part of the over-the-road refrigerated. You do need to live within 50 miles of Vegas, otherwise you wouldn't be in the hiring area. But yes, so within 50 miles of Vegas, we do offer over the road, which is out 2 to 3 weeks. It is coast to coast. So this is our coast to coast division that's based out of Missoula. And like I mentioned earlier, it pays anywhere from 43 to 48 cents a mile to start off with. 10 cents of that's per diem. You do get a penny raise after 90 days, and you'll get a penny raise every year on your anniversary until you cap out. There's a $2,500 bonus that you get on your 1 year anniversary as well. You need to run a minimum of 110,000 miles by your 1 year anniversary, and then it pays in full. So that's the requirement, is the 1 year at 110,000 by 1 year. However, even though it is coast to coast, the majority of the runs for this division run from the west to the Midwest. So west to the Midwest. Basically west of the Mississippi, even though it's coast to coast. We also have a similar position, basically the same position, out of Phoenix, Arizona. So home time is going to be the same, 2 to 3 weeks at a time, home for 2 to 3 days. So Las Vegas, Phoenix, Denver, Cheyenne, what am I missing? Missoula, Washington out of Kennewick, Richland, Pasco, so the Tri-Cities in Washington, out of Spokane, Washington, the same thing, out 2 to 3 weeks at a time and home for 2 to 3 days. Yes, by the way, I get asked this quite often. Yes, you can stay out a little bit longer. And then, of course, your home time would be, basically for every 7 days out, it's about a day and a half for every 7 days out for your home time. We don't require you to be out any longer, but we do need at least those 2 to 3 weeks to get the miles that were our expectations for miles for you, as well as I imagine, your minimum expectations as well. So, I mentioned Denver and I mentioned Cheyenne, I think. Now we do have you make arrangements for your truck on your home time. So Missoula is one exception. If you live in Montana or you're going to be leaving the tractor trailer in Missoula on your home time, that's fine. Otherwise, if you're bringing the truck home with you, location allowing, of course, then you are responsible for where you'll be storing the truck on your home time. What else? Am I missing any of the hiring area? I don't think so. For the Western division or the over-the-road refrigerated division. Now, obviously, if we hire in the Midwest for refrigerated, we can hire for the Midwest as well for over-the-road refrigerated. if that's what you're interested in. But we do have a Midwest refrigerated division. So if you're looking for basically anything like running mostly east of Denver, so Denver east, a lot of up and down the Midwest, we do have a refrigerated division that'll do that, and it pays anywhere from 43 to 50 cents a mile. Again, based off of experience, and most of the time you're just running up and down the Midwest. A lot of Iowa and Illinois and Indiana and Minnesota. Kansas City is quite busy. Texas, Oklahoma, and then out towards the west, Denver, of course, I'm going to include that one in there, and then and then out east, to Atlanta, Georgia, some of the areas out there, but for the most part up and down the Midwest. So, and that's usually out 2 to 3 weeks at a time if you're running over the road with them. If you're getting home on a weekly basis, then you're going to be living in Iowa or Illinois or parts of Minnesota. So even Kansas City, we've got some options that can get you home on a weekly basis, even though a lot of those areas are about 2 weeks out at a time. Like Ohio is going to be 2 weeks out at a time. So that's all refrigerated that I mentioned. We have flatbed as well. We have van. So if you're looking for a van opportunity and you're looking for weekly home time, then you've got to be living in anywhere along I-80 from Lincoln, Nebraska to Gary, Indiana. Same pay as the Midwest refrigerated. So it's going to be anywhere from 43 to 50 cents a mile. Again, based off experience. This is the number you're going to be calling though. It's 888-668-0698 for more details on that. But you'll be home on a weekly basis, running for the most part the Midwest. However, living in Anderson, South Carolina, or Hartwell, Georgia, or Atlanta, Georgia, we do have home time every 2 to 3 weeks available too for those areas for dry van. Flatbed out of those areas would get you home, out of northern Georgia, northern Alabama, can get you home on a weekly basis. Otherwise, the flatbed's out usually 2 weeks at a time. There's another exception. Charlotte, North Carolina, we have weekly home time for our flatbed, which usually coming in Friday night or Saturday morning and then leaving back out either Sunday night or Monday morning. We still have one heck of a leg. I'm surprised that you guys are bearing with me. I appreciate it. I'm not sure why. I'm going to try and see if I can make any changes here. I don't know, you guys. Not sure why it's doing that. I'm getting warnings all up and down. It was working great, and it's working great on my end, so I'm not sure where it's dropping the ball. But we do have some available positions of it if you guys are interested. Flatbed, we do train, like I mentioned. However, the local flatbed out of Bessemer, Alabama, we're looking for somebody experienced in flatbed, especially with coils. That one's a Monday through Friday position, and you might have a rare Saturday, but it's basically Monday through Friday, and it starts at 7 a.m. And we want someone who has flatbed experience, especially with coils, because you're dealing a whole lot with coils. So 888-668-0698 for more details on that. A dedicated position out of Nashville, Arkansas, so Texarkana, Arkansas area. We have a dedicated there that will basically get you home on a weekly basis as well. And all in flatbed. We're looking for experience there just because it's pretty time sensitive. I mean, you guys are running hard. We've got the guys that are on it right now. They are running hard for that. They're putting in the miles. They're putting in the work. So we're looking to make sure we do have the same for anybody else that starts. I know I apologized already, but I am really sorry about this video. Just giving you hiccups. It's not a healthy video. Must have the coronavirus. Just kidding. Just kidding. What am I missing, Anna? Am I missing anything for questions? 100,000. So for that $2,500 bonus for flatbed. Now this is just flatbed. Flatbed requires 100,000 miles. for that $2,500 within your first year when you hire on. Hey Ken, how goes it, sir? So, yep. So that is the flatbed. If you guys have any questions, let me know, but definitely get a hold of us with the telephone number 888-668-0698. So I know we talked just briefly about the Transportation Week that's coming up here starting tomorrow. We will probably dive into it a little bit more next week. And, I'd love to get you guys' input and just the power of praise for everybody that's involved within the transportation industry. And I recognize it's not just our drivers, even though we like to brag about it and we love to talk you guys up, but there's a lot behind transportation that people don't recognize. So you see the drivers out on the road, but then you also think of their driver managers or fleet managers. You think of the safety department and keeping things safe, the DOT and what they do to regulate and set guidelines and support the industry itself. I did discuss yesterday during our Facebook group, just as a reminder, that our fuel taxes, those go towards the infrastructure of our roads and our bridges. And what's really nice is that you're not seeing, a lot of times we worry about where our taxes go, right? Everybody with me on that one? A lot of times you wonder, okay, so I'm paying this much in taxes and they're only getting funded this much. Well, actually with the fuel tax, you see it's like 99% that goes to the actual building of the roadways, instead of like the administration costs and stuff like that you see in a lot of aspects. This is actually, it goes to building and operating and maintaining those roadways. So keep buying fuel, keep them coming. Yep. So anyways, we'll probably dive in a little bit more on Transportation Week. I'd love to get you guys' input on everything. Yes, Ken says work. We're just trying to make sure that work is there for everybody, not just all of us here at Decker. But the better the roads are maintained, the quicker and more efficiently our professional drivers, not just ours, but all professional drivers, can get the supplies to where they need to be so the rest of you guys can do your job. Right? Right. Correct. It is correct. Alright. Well, I hope to see you guys next Monday on our Facebook channel. If you aren't already following us on our Facebook channel, we go live every Monday at 4 p.m. Central, so you should be joining us over there. Over on our Facebook channel. There we go. On our Facebook channel, go 4 p.m. Central, and then of course we go live every Tuesday right here on our YouTube channel. So our YouTube channel, Decker Truckline, actually it's youtube.com/C for company /Decker Truckline Inc. So make sure that you're subscribing and clicking that little bell so that you get notified every time we go live or post a video or anything like that. Have discussions, all that good stuff that we're able to do here on YouTube. Did you guys all have, are all the mothers have a wonderful, mothers and wives have a wonderful Mother's Day on Monday or on Monday? Sunday? When did you celebrate it? Happy Mother's Day. I learned that Mother's Day started back in 1902. It was interesting to me, by an activist. An activist celebrating her mother, so it was more of a memorial to her mother. And then, funny enough, then she had created a movement against it once Mother's Day became commercialized. I thought that was super interesting. I don't know. Let's share my knowledge with you. That's about the extent of it, but there you go. That's what we have. Great news on the freight front. So we're doing great. You guys are doing a fantastic job. We are seeing the things opening back up, and freight keeping you guys busy. So if you have any questions or if you have any concerns, make sure that you reach out to your driver manager. If shop wise, maintenance wise on the truck, make sure that you reach out to the shop or to breakdown. Make sure that we can keep all of that up in order for you as well. Maintenance on our trucks is vital. You guys are vital, and we don't want anything slowing you down and keeping you from doing, like Ken says, work. But we don't want to keep anything from anybody from getting your miles and bringing home the money that you need to take care of your family. And so that's what we're doing. Of course, we do have pay for layover and detention and mechanical breakdown and all of that, but I know you guys like to stay moving and busy. So if you're having any problems, make sure that you reach out to your driver manager or breakdown so that we can take care of them. Otherwise, let's keep you moving. We'll keep working on the freight and keeping that coming. And like I said, it's really nice to see those freight numbers moving back in the right direction. We're hoping that they stay for everybody across the nation, because I know that across the nation we're seeing an improvement as well, which is fantastic news for all of you. All right, I will let you be, but if you have any questions, make sure you reach out to 888-668-0698, and we will also look for your application at drivedecker.com if you are interested in one of the positions here at Decker, and we'll do our best to get you qualified. So, questions on that? You guys have an awesome rest of your week. Enjoy it. Maybe a little bit of sunshine, maybe some rain. It's what is it? April showers bring May flowers, but I'm pretty sure we're still getting out my window. It's snowing, so I'm not sure what it's doing out your window. Snow?